I don't understand you people. Jaws busts through your house like the Kool-Aid man, the Flash shows up, and y'all just act like it's no big deal.
Yeah, well, we've had a lot of weird things happen in Central City over the past 2 years.
Weirder than a talking shark wearing pants.
Man, you'd be surprised.
Weirder than a shark, talking shark in pants. Not much is weirder than that, but this episode was. There was a lot of big reveals we're going to talk about now on Flash Chat. I'm your host, Jess, guess my name, I don't know. And I'm here with, this is going to derail real hard today, I can tell, because it's that kind of a day. I'm here with my guests today. We've got Robert Jenkins, Tahj McFadden, and Israel Adams. And Tahj and Israel are new to the show. Robert, you've been here before, yes, and you've contributed some of our set. He actually made These Adventures of Fluffy the Cat. There's a Flash and Arrow. Tell us about Fluffy the Cat.
Well, Fluffy the Cat is based on me and my cats, a little web comic strip that I do. I like to think of it as a cross between Calvin and Hobbes meets Peanuts. You know, the boy and his dog meets the weirdness of a toddler, kind of thing. Always getting into trouble and always taking his owner with him, kind of a thing.
I like that it's pro-cat. I have a cat, and I'm pro-cat, so I like that there's a Fluffy the Cat. What have you been working on lately with it?
Lately, I have just been trying to keep busy. I've actually been doing some more strips that you can find on my website, homeofthefluffy.com. I recently did join Twitter.
Oh, you did? Okay, good.
It's Twitter at Robert and Fluffy. But this is just kind of some of the samples that I brought with me of stuff that I'm doing.
They're so fun. Make sure you add him on Instagram, Twitter, at homeofthefluffy.com is his website. I think they're adorable.
They're pretty cool.
You should add Clem the cat as like the sidekick. I'm kidding. I have a cat named Clem. And this is Tahj McFadden. He is a film student. So what have you been working on? How far along are you?
Well, this is my first semester of film school. We're working on like a student news kind of thing for Central Piedmont.
So welcome to the station.
Right. And I'm really enjoying it so far. When I get out of school, I plan to do film and editing, so a lot of post-production things.
Nice. Well, maybe I'll take you down to the edit bay and show you how to restart Final Cut when it just has the pinwheel of death, is what I've been dealing with all day. It's super glamorous in TV. And this is Israel Adams, and he works for Time Warner Cable. He's a fibers specialist, services
basically
specialist.
Glorified phone support kind of thing for fiber optics.
Very necessary. I've had to call you guys a couple of times. But how'd you get into the Flash and comic books?
I've been a fan of comic books all my life.
Yeah.
And then I actually watched the original Flash series all the way through.
Oh, so John Wesley Shipp.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting. So how'd you feel when you saw him in the wormhole a couple episodes back?
That was really exciting to me.
Do you have any projections on what maybe will happen with that?
Well, we still haven't seen his Earth 2 counterpart, so that raises some suspicions with me too. Some
big questions there. There were some very significant doppelgangers we did not see, and then there's some ones that we did. And we all know what the biggest thing of the episode was last night is the Zoom identity reveal. Who thought that was going to happen last night?
My wife.
Okay, Jess did. His wife's name is Jess, so she thought it, but not me, not I. Oh, man. Okay, let's take a look at the scene because it was epic.
It was pretty good.
It was good.
This is a complication.
Yes, it is. Crazy. It's a complication for my brain because
why, Jay? Why? I like your character.
I know, but who thinks it's that simple?
No.
The writers are going to do something.
They're going to do something weird. So, what are your thoughts on? So, give me your thoughts on what this whole scenario is.
Okay. Well, I guess I can go first. When I saw it was someone that looks like Jay, I was like, that's Hunter Zolomon.
Yeah.
I really wanted it to be Earth 2 Eddie.
Yes,
I really wanted it to be Earth 2 Eddie. But then when they went the Hunter Zolomon route, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool as well. I think the man in the iron mask is the real Jay Garrick. That's trapped in the caver.
Yes.
And then that still leaves me with who is the Jay that we thought we had the whole time.
Right. Okay, so I agree with that. And this is what I was kind of thinking. I was thinking that maybe, because it'd be too easy to do like a body snatchers, face snatchers thing like Eobard Thawne. I'm thinking maybe it's like the Jay Garrick Zoom person was one character, and the Velocity 9 maybe caused him to split into two, like a bad and a good. And so maybe the whole time that Jay has been playing the Star Labs team, and the guy in the mask is the real Jay. It's a theory, could be, because how many Jays are there? What do you think?
I mean, honestly, that scene, I was completely caught off guard. You know, the last season where you had, you know, the Reverse Flash, you kind of had a feeling it was, you know, Harrison Wells. You're like, oh, it's something like that. This one, it's you know, totally unexpected. I didn't see it coming. And it's like, so you've got 3 Jay Garricks, or you have 4 Jay Garricks?
28 Jay Garricks, 52. And I think that maybe it's, you know, I think I was reading up on this, and I think that they did a good job of twisting it as that character, because people love Jay Garrick from the comic books. They would never think he was bad. And I didn't hear a lot of people thinking that Jay Garrick may be Zoom until last week's episode when the guy in the mask sounded out Jay. What did you think about the whole thing?
Well, I don't think it's ever been explicitly stated that Zoom originated on Earth 2.
Right, I don't think so either.
Since he's so obsessed with absorbing Speedster's energies, who's to say he didn't come from another Earth, and he's just been going through the multiverse collecting speed.
Yeah, that would be interesting too. And then now we can't get back to the other multiverses.
Right.
Yeah, right. I'm sure we will.
Exactly.
I'm sure we'll find a way.
Plot device.
I know, yes. There are a lot of, there's so many plot devices. We were talking about like King Shark is just, every week the villains are cool, but they're never like, that's the point of the show. Yeah, everything else. And like most times, I would say Barry is not the central focus of the show. Every time I'm like looking for clips for the show, I like half the time pick something with Grant Gustin in it, because I just feel like the supporting characters really help build, and he drives the plot along, and he's the hero, but he needs everybody else.
It really is Team Flash. It's not just him.
Yeah, and Team Zoom. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to think. Some tweets online. Area 51 Comics at MacMM says, I didn't want it to be true, but Flash is such a good show, it doesn't bug me at all. Good point. And it said that takedown of King Shark, wow. Our CW Street teamer Drew Herring said, knew it. So a bunch of people thought that they knew it. And then Alan Williams on Facebook just kind of flipped out and said, Sylvester! Oh my God! So yay for you, Alan Williams. I like your enthusiasm. So, but that leads us to, so who is in that mask? And my big question with who's in the mask is that I did a close-up on it. There's a still, and it's hard to tell. It looks like his eyes are brown and Jay Garrick's are blue. Which could be, I think, John Wesley Shipp's eyes are black. What are your, I think we have a clip of that. If we could look at the clip of the mask and see, what do you guys think? Do you think it's going to be the face of Jay Garrick? Or, I mean, you can kind of see in there, his eyes look dark. If you zoom in, it looks brown. And Teddy's ears are blue. So do you think it's like the face of the Jay we know, or somebody else?
I think it's somebody else.
Somebody else. I still want Eddie to show up.
Right?
Yeah.
Because if it's not Jay, then who is it? Who is that?
It could be some other rando. We don't know, which is always cool. I like when they introduce a new actor and a new character. But the I swear that Eddie, the guy Rick Cosnett who plays the character, I swear he was in Vancouver at some point filming this season. Which I don't know, if I was a show, I would fly in random people and be like, you need to Instagram your plane ticket, and like, you know, try to throw people off the scent. But I think we're gonna see him at some point.
I want to.
I want to too.
I like his character too.
I liked his character. There's all those cobalt blue theories, and I think that would be just such a cool thing to bring back into the show. Maybe we didn't see Eddie on Earth 2. And speaking of Earth 2, how do you guys feel about, you know, Wells told them not to say anything, and like kind of like a what happens on Earth 2 stays on Earth 2, except for like he brought back his daughter, like Zoom, I mean, what happens on Earth 2 just came back, and he told them to keep a secret. Not one of them did. So what are your thoughts with them knowing about the different characters on Earth 2, especially like Iris knowing her relationship with Barry and Caitlin knowing who she is on Earth 2? What do you guys think?
Well, for one, you know, if I had to keep that kind of a secret, it would eat me away inside, you know. So it was, they needed to say something.
Yeah.
You know, to be honest, I wouldn't even know what would wrap around my brain if I saw someone that I knew on a different world, something happened to them.
Yes.
I couldn't even imagine.
I know, and because they all had such different personalities. Like Iris was kind of similar, but not real. I mean, she still was a very different. At least she wasn't a villain like Killer Frost. And man, who else flipped out when Caitlin said that I don't like being called Caitlin? I was like, no. I thought her eyes were gonna turn.
It was a little
Right.
weird.
Yeah. So and then Cisco guessed that Barry put her up to it. We didn't confirm that. So who knows? Because that was a very specific. And you'll notice, look at this. She is wearing a red shirt. In every other episode, she's been wearing blue. Do you think that signifies just like the end of Killer Frost, or trying to throw us off the symbolic game? What do you guys think with that?
Okay.
No, I think they'll bring her back.
You think they'll bring
I think they'll bring her back. Either they'll bring the Killer Frost from Earth 2, or our Caitlin will turn into Killer Frost somehow, just because she's had bad luck.
Yeah.
So far in the past 2 seasons.
Yeah, she really has had some bad luck. I'm not convinced that her Jay is dead, though. I feel like her Jay was not there for a while or something, so maybe that'll be good for her. But yeah, she's had some bad luck. I don't know if I think that this Caitlin is going to turn into a bad guy. I just feel like she's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, plus, I think they kind of left Robbie's ultimate fate up in the air, since
True.
they never really recovered his body. And
Yes.
he just kind of disappeared into the singularity.
Poor
So-
Robbie and Mel. Like, he's probably
He's
like,
had some
come
pretty
on.
bad luck, too.
I'm just going, well, X-Files was renewed, right? So, well, good for him. But I know, the poor guy's probably like, I just want to be on the shows on the CW. And he had like Tomorrow People last year. He's trying, he's hustling. Steven seems to be doing a little better. Ryan M. Spencer 1 said he's glad that Barry told them about Earth 2 and got it off his chest. So that was nice of Ryan. He feels good for Barry. I think he needed to. You could see that inner turmoil in him this whole episode. And if we know one thing about Barry, if he's distracted, it's a problem. And he wears it on his face. It's never good for him. And a good kind of like voice of reason this episode came over from Arrow. How'd you guys like Diggle being on the show this week?
I thought that was a good little feature there.
Yeah.
Bring some stability, I think.
I liked that it wasn't Oliver. I liked that it was, you know, kind of like the sidekick coming to help. Do you guys think he's kind of like the parallel with he's the Joe to Oliver, you know? I think he's a cool character. I like Diggle. I'm kind of curious to see if they'll do more with his character. What do you think about King Shark? Do you think we're going to be seeing King Shark again? Do you think they're going to kind of use it as like, is Argus going to use it as a Suicide Squad kind of guy?
I think he'll fade for now, but he'll probably be back at a later time.
Yeah, and Grodd. I mean,
We haven't seen Grodd.
we haven't seen Grodd, and they're kind of like two little pals. Well, they don't know. They may know each other. I don't know their lives. But the effects on this, you know, for a
This
TV
scene
show,
was awesome.
it's
really was.
awesome. Armin Kevorkian's the guy who leads the effects team. I think they've won Emmys. And look at this. They've definitely.
Yeah, especially that scene right there.
When I was watching
That's
this, I was like, the guys who created this are probably like at home drinking a beer, just like, oh, it looks good. It's got to be so much work. It looks like running on water. Holy snap! Go ahead.
I liked all the subtle Jaws references they had during this episode.
It was cute. I didn't quite get all of them because I haven't seen Jaws in some time, but I loved that. But that's the thing. We went into this episode thinking it was going to be a real light, fun, and like, whoa, took a twist at the end and left us hanging for a month. We have to wait. But yeah, man, the effects on this were amazing. And I'm curious to see, I mean, they're going to be introducing more speedsters eventually, and they do such a good job with Barry, obviously. I'm curious to see what will happen with Wally West. So Wally West, this episode, I thought there was some great acting with the way that they handled that kind of the awkward family dynamic of Wally being an actual son coming into the family later. How'd you guys feel about the dynamic with him and Barry?
It's a work in progress. I would definitely say.
Yeah.
You can see glimpses of them like getting along and working together when they were talking about his application.
Yeah.
And his idea, but then it took a turn when Barry kind of like took over. I wouldn't say took over. He was like over helping.
Yes. And there's some weird animosity there that I think is very realistic. I think, you know, people were giving Wally and Barry a hard time, like, you guys are being jerks to each other. I think that's how it would maybe be. It's such a sensitive situation. And Wally was, well, if you think about the grand scheme of things, he's been thrown into this very quickly. I mean, his mom just died. He just met these people, and he's already like acting kind of like that's his dad he's grown up with, and he's known for, in our mind, like a couple weeks.
Right.
That's, you know. What are your thoughts on, you know, all the overt references to his speed? He wants to be fast. He was competitive. What are your thoughts on like how his character is going to develop?
I don't think they'll make him any kind of a central focus until he needs to be to do something to maybe assist Barry or replace Barry even temporarily.
Yeah.
Like if something happens to him, I think then they'll push a little harder on developing Wally.
Yeah.
But up until that point, I think it's more of a friction between him and Barry.
That's good. Friction might burn with the speed. Do you think, and now in the comic books, he gets his speed force from like an accident. In this show, do you think it's going to be something where he seeks it out?
I think so. I think he'll get it from, you know, something involving Zoom or Jay Garrick. That's it. In fact, I think that's how they'll all get it. Any of the other speedsters that will show up in the show, I think that's where the speed will come from.
Yeah.
Although I know it's a little early, but the preview of the next episode on the 22nd shows
Trajectory.
Exactly.
The first female.
It's where did she get her speed from? So I think it'll involve something like that.
In the comics, she gets it from Lex Luthor Corps. So that's what I read. I could be wrong, but that's what the internet said, so it's true. But so that could be a way to introduce maybe some of those characters, or maybe cross her over into Arrow or something. I still would. I'd love for. I didn't watch Smallville, but I'd like for everyone who did for them to be some kind of like Smallville reference on the Flash, like Tom Welling, or just that would be cool if that showed up. But I'm kind of thinking that. I think that with Wally West, he's going to do something shady to try to get speed power, like maybe discover the Velocity 9 and figure out that's Barry's the Flash, figure out that's the way he can get it. I feel like he's going to do it on purpose out of desire to be competitive.
I think you get that from his attitude too.
Yeah.
Just based on how forward he is with trying to get faster and his obsession with being fast enough to do everything and then competing with Barry directly.
Yeah. Especially if he learns if Barry is the Flash.
Right.
I can see that totally
catapulting him into that.
I know, and I think they're setting us up for that real well.
That'd be interesting to see. I'd like that.
I would like to see it too. And I'd foremost like to see what kind of super suit he has. I think that would be cool. Right. I like that. And you know, the costume department's probably like, I can't wait to develop it. Because I really liked all the Earth 2 look.
Right.
So Harrison Wells, I wanted to like just touch on this. What do you think about, he's kind of in the back, you know, we haven't been like focusing on Harrison Wells and Jesse Quick, who is supposed to be a speedster. What do you guys think is up for him coming up in these episodes?
I feel as though he's gonna he's gonna be in the back still until there's like something that directly involves him that's gonna like bring him to the forefront.
Yeah.
I feel as though.
Do you think he's in on the Jay Garrick thing? Do you think he knows?
Well, he was in on it before. He was working with Zoom for a while to try and get Barry speed. So he may actually, this may all still be part of the plan.
I know. I think they're gonna end up doing some kind of twist that no one expects. And they've been good at that so far, and they're very masterful at developing things like, we all love Jay Garrick, we'd never think he'd be bad. And so, and it's in the comic books, you know, Jay Garrick isn't bad, Zoom is Hunter Zolomon. So I'm curious to see what they do with it. In a month from now, the Flash comes back, I know, I know. But you know, I get Tuesday nights for a while, so that's kind of good. But I'll miss it. So I'm excited to see what happens with this character trajectory. Is the first female speedster, and like we were talking about, her powers in the comic books come from Lex Luthor or Luthor Corps, I think Lex Corps, whatever it is. I don't know, but I'm interested to see how they show this character, how she gets involved, and what her future will be. Take a look at this trailer for March 22nd.
Only took us 2 years, but we finally got one. A lady speedster. Was she good looking?
Heard the Flash went nuts.
Next time she punches me in the face, I'll be sure to get her number.
The Flash, all new episodes return Tuesday, March 22nd on the CW.
So we have to wait a month. gosh. But, you know, in the meantime, 100, you can watch the 100, you can catch up on that. There's a lot of shows you can watch on the CW, and on not the CW, but I don't recommend that. But, oh, and this is a point I wanted to bring up, that this is crossing the universes, but Zoom's power, it's very kind of Kilgrave-ish. Like with King Shark, maybe because King Shark's not a person, but he had to kill Flash. He had to kill the Flash, and he kept repeating that. And I thought that was. And you guys watch Jessica Jones at all?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. See, amongst friends, we all know that here. So it was kind of like when they said, and he keeps repeating, "I have to kill her. I have to kill him. I have to kill him." I was like, what does that remind me of? Kilgrave. So I like that they're doing a good job with this villain with Zoom. But yeah, so we have to wait a whole month.
A whole month.
Leave us in suspense.
I know, leave us in suspense. Well, thanks, guys, for being here, and make sure to watch Arrow tonight at 8. We're getting Stephen Amell tweeted out a picture of the wedding between his character and Felicity. So, you know, that scene where she's in the car not wearing a ring. Something big goes down in between now and then. So we'll see what happens. So watch tonight at 8, and then tomorrow, of course, you've got Legends of Tomorrow and the 100. And the street team, right after the Flash comes back, our street team is going to be all weekend at Mad Monster Party. It's going to be at the Sheraton Uptown. And guess who's going to be there? Manu Bennett, the guy who plays Slade. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. And then Boba Fett will be there. I can't think of something. Go to Mad Monster Party and look it up, or go to WCCBCharlotte.com and look up and get some tickets, because it is always a fun time. It's always chock full of guests, and you can win some swag. We'll have some like shirts and stuff there you guys can win. So come out and see us. Until March 22nd, this is all for Flash Chat, and we will see you later.